will do is that I'm going to start lightly. I'm hoping that your other colleagues will join. It was definitely a loss to me that I was not able to see you. السلام عليكم مرة ثانية، مساء الخير جميعا. We have this session for 2 hours. Let me start very briefly quickly about myself. So, as you can see here, my name is Samer Yamak from Tripoli. I have a master in computer engineering, a master in business, and a DBA in progress. Inshallah, I'm expecting to finish it in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Inshallah, so I'm progressing in my DBA, the Doctor of the Business. I used to teach for University of Leicester and Worcester. I'm currently teaching in Geneva Business School, as well in University of Northampton. I'm delivering the leadership course. As you can see from here, I put my contact. So what I will do is that I'm going to copy it here. You could copy it later on. That way you have a chance to contact me if you need any support. Okay. So once again, I'd like that you would download the documents I shared with you. That's a lot of documents. I'm sharing some books, some articles, and some references. So for example, to go very quickly for what I'm sharing, once again, let me show you this folder. You'll find plenty of articles on management, on marketing, on presentation. You have this folder by now. And also you will have some readings on the leadership course. So that's 100 articles, as you can see here. And this set of articles, this gives you more ideas about leadership in general. So if you wish to read more on the topic, you have that Excel source. Okay. So yeah, I can see somebody's waving his hand. Hold on. How do I do it? I'm trying to just remember how I do it. So I'm not sure if somebody was trying to raise a question, because questions here maybe. No, maybe not. All right. So sorry guys, I'm not sure if somebody's asking a question. If you are asking a question, please go ahead and send the question again. I can't see it here actually. I could be wrong. So coming back, let's close this one and that one. All right. So coming back to the slide, yeah, let's move on very quickly. So as you can see here, your gateway is on 15th of March and 19th of April. Those are your two gateways. This means what? This means that your assignment number 1 is due on 15th of March and number 2 and 19th of April. Now, what I'm proposing is that you're welcome to submit your assignment draft to on 1st of March to me, and of course you need to submit it to my private email, because I don't have access to my Northampton, by the way. So I'm proposing that you submit your draft for assignment number 1 on 1st of March. That way I'll give you some comments and some feedback about it. And well, basically, if you need to adjust it, you can go ahead and do so. Similarly, for assignment number 2, it is due on 19th of April. So I'm proposing that you can submit your draft on 5th of April for assignment number 2. That way I can review it and come back to you. So just memorize those dates. Once again, feel free to send me any comments. And as I mentioned, you must download the content which I sent you. Those are very important contents for you to understand how to progress on this course. Okay. Okay. So I hope that's it. I would like to jump very quickly. By the way, as you may know, the purpose of this workshop is to focus a lot more on the assignment 1 and 2, because those are the most important part. But just before I do that, I would like to take maybe 10 minutes time to discuss 3 slides, 49, 50, and 51. So slide number 49 is basically, you are as you know, you are a MBA student. And when somebody asks you that I need to define something, I can see some more joining. Welcome all for joining. I'm not sure if you could see the history of the chat, but basically I've sent my contact details and my mobile phone. I'm available on WhatsApp if you wish to contact me. So coming back to those slides, let me try to do like this. That way I can see all the. All right, that's better. Okay, so you are an MBA student. When you want to present concepts, you should present that as an MBA person. So for example, you cannot be descriptive. Imagine somebody is asking you, how can you define SWOT analysis? The simple answer to that is that SWOT is strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threats. But that's not an MBA response, because anyone from the street actually can mention that description. So basically, I've prepared this slide. It gives you a framework about how to define concepts. So imagine you talk about SWOT, about Porter 5 forces, about 4P. Those are the questions that you ask yourself. So what is the meaning of SWOT? Who and where do I use SWOT? What are the steps or the components or the variances of implementing SWOT? What is the added value that SWOT can promise? And what happened after we use SWOT, or what's the benefit of using SWOT? In other words, imagine your assignment is about leadership. Let's say your assignment is about charismatic leadership. Then in that case, you cannot say charismatic leadership is having charisma. That's an definition, which is not allowed. As an MBA person, those are the questions that you need to ask yourself. So basically you say, what is the meaning of charismatic leadership? Who and where do I need to have charismatic leadership? What are the steps of implementing charismatic leadership in a company? What is the added value that charismatic leadership offer compared to other leadership styles? And what happened to the employees, to the environment, to the followers, to the organization after I implement charismatic leadership? So again, so those questions are meant to help you define anything, theories, concept, tools, whatever you have in mind. So just imagine that you're supposed to be from an MBA perspective. You cannot simply give the definition and that's it. You have to follow that sequence. Okay, so presentation not clear. Let me try again with this. I'm not sure if this is the cause. I'll try to go for full screen. Hopefully this is now clearer now. Okay. Is this clear? All right. So again, coming back to the question. So this is basically the slide that you need to, or let's say the question that you need to ask yourself whenever you want to define any theory. Those are the 5 questions that you need to ask. Okay. Thank you, Jassim. My pleasure. So when you think about any assignment, you need to plan your outline. And in every question that you receive, from an MBA perspective, there's always a main theme, what we call in Arabic الصبغة العامة. There's always a main theme and a target analysis, which means the university will give you what's the main theme about the assignment and where are you going to progress in that assignment. Your job is to uncover this main theme and uncover that target analysis and then put them next to each other and then ask yourself a question. How do I travel from the main theme to the target analysis? How do I go? What are the steps? What are the topics? What are the components? The different let's say journey that takes me from main theme to target analysis. That will be your outcome for any assignment. And obviously you need to support your comments by as much example as possible. Now the most important element that you need to remember is that it's always about quality, not quantity. What does this mean? It means that if you have a choice to choose multiple tools, multiple approach, you will not impress the tutor by presenting all 500 tools that you know. You can only present 2 to 3 maximum, and then you can acknowledge that you are aware there are other tools out there, but for the interest of this assignment, you've selected only those 2 tools. So always remember that concept in MBA. It's always about the quality, depth, and details of the analysis, not the quantity. Okay. Now the next slide is a very important one, and I'd like you really to focus on it a lot. I hope by now that you have a full audience. So let me just take a quick look here. We see 4. Hopefully they will come earlier, but that's the most important slide, frankly, in my whole of dissertation. Sorry, my whole of slides. Now, before we go on the slide, what I'm promising you that if you follow the steps in that slide, you will get A grade in any assignment, every assignment. You will get A grade in a dissertation all over the MBA. All you have to do is understand the components, and then you can get an A grade, because this is what an MBA assignment looks like. That's my promise to you. So typically, when MBA students see some questions that they need to respond, they immediately think about how to answer. So they jump at this section answer the question. Yeah, I agree, it's a good approach. Or no, I don't agree, or maybe I should do something else. So when you jump and answer the question, you are playing at basically 25% of the grade. That's it. So you cannot simply jump the question. You need to structure your answer so that you have a common ground between you and the tutor. So what I'm presenting this slide, how to present it from an MBA perspective. You always must, after the introduction, which is you put it at the top, then you have 3 important blocks. Block number 2, defining the theories, define a concept. Meaning what? We just mentioned in the previous slide that there's a main theme and target analysis. Those 2 concepts, most likely they are coming from some academic background. So you're supposed to do all your definitions in this first block. So all the tools or the components, all the theories you define in that block. Once you define it, the second block, you need to apply the knowledge as it is. What does this mean? It means that you're not allowed to give your opinion. You're not allowed to ask yourself, does this make sense or not? You just apply the tool as it is exactly what the tool or what the theory owner has presented to you. And then you have the last component, which is actually answering the question. Does it make sense? Will it improve my company? Will it work in my actual company? Am I confident that I will get the results? All the critical analysis that you think about happens in this section. Now, as you know, if you look at those percentages here, they are not set in stone. It has to be like a Chinese wall, but just to give you a flavor, that basically those more or less carry equal weights. So the defining theories, applying the knowledge, answering the question, they all carry equal weights. What does this mean? Some students, they think they are too smart. They said, if I stuff a lot of definitions here, then I'm smart. Well, basically, you are, but not for an MBA perspective, because there's a limit about the extent to which we can define or let's say put words here. It has to be more or less 25-30%, and then it's obvious where the percentage go. And then finally, you have this section which is conclusion. In this section, you put basically the summary of findings, listing of untapped angles, and recommendation. Now, when we say summary of finding, what findings are we actually talking about? In this section, the section number 2, you have defined some ideas. You said, okay, from a leadership perspective, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kind of leadership. For this assignment, I think that's the best leadership. That's one finding, yeah. And then that section, apply the knowledge. We said, okay, according to this tool, which I just discovered in block number 2, I need to apply it, and I expect those results, the following result. That's the second finding. And then answering the question, does it make sense? Will I get the result differently? All these other questions comes here, and that's the third finding. So in conclusion, you list the finding of your assignment, finding of every section. Okay. So again, coming back to this point, so this is basically, gentlemen, the look and feel about any assignment. Again, my promise to you, if you follow the steps, if you understand clearly how to do it, and follow the steps, I'm promising you can get easily an A grade. Now, I'd like to take a short pause because I need to ask you, are you okay with this slide, guys? I need your response, but this is the most important slide. Are you okay with it? Do you understand it? Do you have any question around it? Okay. So I can see Jassim is a bit active, which is fantastic, but I'd like to hear more from Abdullah, Muhammad, Salah, and Wasim. You guys, I need your voice as well. Thanks, Jassim, for being prompt. So this is a very important slide. Now I'd like to give it a stop for a second. And before we continue, just for fun, I would like to show you something. Yeah. This is a simple browser. As you may know that you're asked in the course of your assignment that you're supposed to basically research, some market information, market idea, and typically you try Google, but Abdullah, you basically try Google. For example, let's say, for the sake of argument, impact of digital transformation on retail industry in Qatar. Okay, let's imagine that you're trying to search for this thing, and this is part of the assignment. Now, typically, what you get is an awfully lot of ideas, which is fine. But from an MBA perspective, you are supposed to bring peer-reviewed articles or genuine articles. What I'm proposing is that once you put whatever crazy search you have in mind, I'd like you to add the following. You type file, type PDF. Do you know who writes PDF files and leave them on the internet? Can you guess? Anyone? Okay, so basically, research agencies like Procter & Gamble, KPMG, international global organization or association, government association, or even banks or government, they are the one who writes RFPs, writes documents, writes research, and put it on the internet. So if I add file type PDF and press enter, slash it. Okay, look what happened here. Wow, we just found a document from McKinsey. You're very lucky, actually, which is the global firm in consulting. They've done a research on this thing, and they dropped that research on the internet. Guess what? There's also research from Huawei. There's a research from Strategy and which is part of PwC. Another one from IDC. That's fantastic amount of research. All these are peer-reviewed, genuine articles that you could use for your assignment. So coming back here, all I've done is added file type PDF. So I'm forcing Google to filter only. Let me write it here. To filter only articles. Okay. I hope it's clear. Hope you enjoyed it. Now you know one more step for research. So just imagine that whenever you want to research and you wish to basically find articles for a very let's say nice crazy idea, just add file type PDF. I hope it's good enough for you and you enjoyed it. So let's go back to the slide. So basically, you said that you all like the slide and it's beneficial. Now, I'd like to test your seriousness and liking this information. So let me go take you to the assignment number 1. This is assignment number 1. All right. In this assignment, you are expected to think like you are the head of HR, and your CEO came to you and asked you, can you present a presentation about one of those 4 topics? And I'm expecting 20 slides or 20 minutes, obviously 1 slide, 1 minute. So you're supposed to select 1 out of those 4 topics and break it into 20 slides. Okay. Now I'd like to pick this one. As you can see here, I'm going to pick it up. Please explain briefly the concept. Let me go back here in the slides. So I'm going to put it here. Hang on a second, please. I'll show you something in a minute. Okay. Now, so just imagine that's your assignment. Please briefly explain the concept of cross-cultural management and its relevant in supporting global business operation. Very good. Right. Let's take it step by step. What's the main theme of this assignment? Can anyone guess? Yeah, it's a simple question, guys. Yalla. Come on, guys. Let me take this one, put it here better. Okay, so I'll repeat my question. What's the main theme of this assignment question? Yes, yeah, Ali. Thank you for joining. So can anyone guess, guys? Yalla. Yalla, shabab. Any question? All right. So basically, the main theme, as it says here, it's this one: cross-cultural management. Yeah. Does this make sense? Cross-cultural management is the main theme, which speaks about this assignment. Okay. Now, what's the target analysis for this assignment? Can you guess? So we're going from main theme, which is cross-cultural management, and the target analysis is impact of cross-cultural management on global business operations. Does this make sense? So in other words, how would global business operation be affected? Okay, no problem. Thank you, Ali, for watching. So how is the cross-cultural management is helping us in the business or global business operation? Okay, So if you have this assignment, what would you do? Let's simply apply those blocks. So you define the theory. What is cross-cultural management? How does it typically answer a global business operation? What are the tools to implement global cross-cultural management? What are the steps? And does it make sense? Now, since we have here 20 slides, so if we divide 20 by 3 blocks, you get almost 6 slides per one block. So you have 6 block here, 6 block there, 6 block there. That's 18 blocks. And then 1 block for introduction, 1 for conclusion. That's it. So what do we write in this 6 blocks for the defining theories? Basically, since we have cross-cultural management and global business operations impact, we define the cross-cultural management in those 6 slides. We define what are the tools to manage cross-cultural problems, what are the expected result of cross-cultural management, etc. This will be your first 6 slides. Whatever you have presented in the first 6 slides, now you implement it in the second block, which is applying the knowledge. You take those tools that you claim they are beneficial for cross-cultural management, and then you apply it where? In one department. So you take one department and you apply this tool on this department. Now, since you are a smart student, and remember we said it's about quality, not quantity, one department is not enough. You need at least to have 2 departments so that you can show that you have a different blend of ideas. I'd like here to mention a nice example here. As you guys know, in Qatar, الاتجاه المعاكس, فيصل قاسم, الرأي ورأي الآخر. So there's gotta be some kind of blend of at least two ideas. Yeah. So you put 2 departments, and then you need to show your strengths implementing in those 2 departments. To do that, obviously, in the first section, you were supposed to add 2 tools. Yeah. So I repeat, maybe that's a lot of information. So let me repeat here what I was saying. As you can see, so you have introduction, 1 slide, lecture review, 6 slides. What do we write in those slides? So number 1, cross-cultural management, cultural management. You write also tools, and then you present at least 2 tools. Yeah. And then when I say it, present the tools and define them. Remember what I said, how to define theories? If you remember those 5 questions, what's the definition? Where do I use it? What are the steps? What happened? All these questions, you ask yourself those questions. You cannot say, yeah, it's a good tool, I love it. That's not the definition. You have to analyze those tools. Okay. So, and what are the general expectations when implementing those tools? Yeah. We just finished the first block, which is lecture review. The second block, as you can see from this slide here, is applying the knowledge. So applying, now we go, hang on, applying knowledge, 6 slides. So we have tool 1 applied on department 1. That's 3 slides. Okay. And tool 2 applied on department 2. What does this mean? Sorry. What does this mean? So just since we said you have to show at least a balance of thoughts, and since we said you need to select at least 2 departments, it's obvious that you need to bring 2 tools. What kind of tools? Obviously, these are cross-cultural management tools. Yeah, cross-cultural management tools. You take those tools, you define 2 of them, you implement tool 1 on department 1 of your company, tool 2 on department 2. Now, again, as a reminder, when you say define the theories or even define the tools, it is using this slide. Remember those 5 questions that we said you must use? That's how you define theories. So just remember that, guys, all the time. Okay. And coming back to the slide, so then you apply the knowledge. Now, this third block, it is answering the question. Okay, answering. Six slides. All right. So what do we write in those slides? As clearly as mentioned here, let me do this and do that. So basically, as the slide says here, sorry. Okay, so analyzing the concept, does it make sense? Am I really going to get those promised results in this department? We said tool 1 on department 1, and that's the result. Am I convinced that this tool will actually bring those promised results in that department in my company? How about department 2? Can I achieve the same result using different tools, different approach? So all those sort of questions, you put them here, and then you have 6 slides for them. Okay, is this clear, gentlemen? Is this clear for all of you? I'm not hearing comments for some time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. So any comments, any questions so far? Because we just finished one trial for assignment number 1. I'd like to hear some comments. Yes, no, okay. Are you okay? Do you want to repeat something? So what I will do is that I'm going to pick another sample. Let's take this one. Okay, let's put it here. So imagine now you're developing this assignment. Okay, now let me ask you again. Okay, thank you, Muhammad. Let me ask you again, and now I need the question for the audience. The question says the following: please provide an overview about emotional leadership and how it impacts on cross-cultural cooperation. What's the main theme of this assignment, guys? Thank you. So what's the main theme of this assignment? Can you guess? ما تزعلونا منكم يلا لازم جاوبونا. Thank you, Muhammad. You just want a Lexus 570 car? Please check with Stafford. They will give you the car and they will send it to you to Qatar. So that's correct. The main theme is the the emotional leadership. Now, what's the target analysis? Can you guess? Anyone? Okay, we have a response. Yeah. So again, what's the target analysis, guys? Yalla. Anyone? I need a response. What's the target analysis for this question, please? So obviously it's cross-cultural cooperation, yeah? So let me ask you a question. How do you go from emotional leadership to cross-cultural cooperation? The idea or the trajectory or the line which will take you from this point to that point is your outline. Okay. So in that case, how would you build an outline for this assignment? You basically, in the first, we said you have the first block is 6 slides. So since this is about emotional leadership, the first 6 slides is about emotional leadership, steps to implement emotional leadership, what are the results, what's typically the expected result when you implement emotional leadership on cross-cultural cooperation. This concludes first block. Yeah, applying the knowledge, second block. You said, okay, I'm going to try implement it on 2 different departments. Obviously, we have one tool which is emotional leadership. There are no two tools under emotional leadership, just one tool. So you say, okay, even though we have only one tool, I'm going to try and implement it on 2 different departments, maybe sales and operation, sales and help desk. And then in that section, which is applying the knowledge, I'm expecting to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in terms of results or output or improvement. And then block number 4, which is answer the question, does it really make sense? Is this sales department going to be motivated by such a emotional leadership to perform better? Can I get the same result using other leadership style? So all sort of questions, all the critical analysis, you will put it in the block number 4, and then you put the introduction 1 slide, conclusion 1 slide. Is this clear, gentlemen? Are you all okay with it? So as you notice, I have skipped the first question because it's the easiest one, and I wanted to give it to you. I wanted to see, I'd like you to do it yourself. So I'm going to put it here. Okay, thank you. So I'm going to put it here. What's the main theme of this assignment? This is the simplest assignment 1. What's the main theme? Yalla, gentlemen, it's easy. That's the easiest assignment. Come on. Anyone? Hello? Anyone? Okay, so not sure if you're still alive. I hope you are. But well, basically the main theme, as you can see, it's both transactional and transformation leadership. They are both the main theme. The target analysis is that how is this, yeah, I mean, please go ahead. This is where I'm hoping that you respond to me. So whatever I have questions, please go ahead and answer my questions here. By the way, no title, just call me Samer. I'm more than happy to and honored and privileged to be your brother. So just call me Samer, it's enough. Okay. So now the target analysis is actually impact of those leadership on practical work environment. So let me write that for you. You know what? Let's keep it like this. How about we bring Mr. Notepad? I think that's better. Okay. So main theme is transactional and transformational. Target analysis is impact of those styles on practical on work environment. Okay. What does this mean? So you have slide 1, introduction. Yeah, makes sense. Slide 2, we said we have slide 2 till 8. Why? We said we have 6 slides for literature review. Sorry, 2 to 8. Sorry, 2 to 7. Yes, 7. Okay. So that's the literature review. Okay. Now to do that, so you write here, define transactional in 3 slides, then define transformational, yeah, in 3 slides. Now here, when I say define, always remember the same concept. You use the 5 questions, the 5 magic questions. So what's the meaning? Where do I use it? What are the steps? Who and who used it? What happened after you use it? That's always how you define concept. Okay. Now, in total, we have 6 slides, and then slide 8 to 14, 13. It's applying the knowledge, yeah, which means what? Testing transactional on department 1, This is 3 slides. And when I say testing, I meant obviously implementing transformational on department 2. Yeah, that's 3 slides. Yeah. Now, when I say implementing, remember always the same concept, we come back to it. When I say implementing, which means you put the steps of implementation and the expected result. In this department, I'm going to implement transaction leadership. So in this department, I will tell this Mr. to do that, this thing to that, etc. Or you put the detailed steps, and following the implementation, I expect to happen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Employees should be doing this and this and this. They should do reporting. All this you presented in the implementation. And then slides 14 to 19, answering the question. Now we know the questions. What kind of question? Does it make sense? Will I really get the motivation needed in this department 1 or 2? Is there another way to achieve the same results? What are the problems of implementing transactional or transformation in those particular departments? So all those questions, you put them here. That's more of critical analysis. And then slide 20, conclusion. Yeah? Is this clear? Is this clear how to do assignment? Now, what I wanted to say is the following. Yes, okay. Thank you, Wasim and Mohammed. I wanted to ask a question from both of you and everyone actually. You have noticed something very interesting, that now you can think about any MBA assignment, and you can quickly develop an outline for it, even if you don't know the concepts. Does this make sense? Think about it. If now somebody will come to you, give you an assignment about finance. Thank you. So if somebody comes to you and gives you an assignment about finance and discuss the cash flow analysis and impact on profitability, you don't need to understand what is cash flow, what is liquidity. Based on this slide, you can quickly develop an outline how to travel through assignment, and that outline will get you an A grade, even if you don't know anything about the concepts requested in this assignment. Am I making a correct statement, gentlemen? Do you feel now that you're empowered to create any outline for any MBA assignment, a winning outline, by the way? Is this a correct statement? What do you think? Yes? No? No? Yes? Maybe? Tomorrow? All right. Hope you're getting what I'm saying and hope you're enjoying so far the elements. Yes. Thank you, Jasim. So, I mean, this is what I'm hoping to achieve basically. And I'm really here to help you understand more the concepts. So this is a very important slide. Again, it's slide number 51 in your pack. Once again, for those who came late, let me go back to questions. And I think, I'm not sure, but just in case, hold on. For those who came late, so basically, in case you don't have the contents which I shared with your colleagues, you're welcome to go and download the following items. Those are around more than 1 GB worth of documents, books, articles, you name it. This is the wealth of all the things which I've been accumulating as an MBA student myself over the past 10 years. So I'm providing it to you. So you're more than welcome to basically to download those contents and review over the content. So I hope you're enjoying the slide so far. And guess what? We just finished assignment number 1. So unless you have any question, I'm going to move to assignment number 2. So the last one, I'm sure by now you're very comfortable in developing any outline. So you always come back to this slide here, how to develop outlines. Okay. So here, please differentiate existing conflict styles on how they are applied. So obviously the main theme is cultural conflict style. Why I said cultural? Because the word repeats here. So the main theme is cultural conflict styles. and how they are applied in different cultural environment. That's the target analysis. So that's it. That's the main theme, and that's the target analysis. And then you're supposed to take a journey from here to here, and that will be your outline. Okay. I hope it's clear by now, and I'll give you the floor to think about it. If you have any questions, please. Okay, so moving on to all the way till end of the slides, where I speak about assignment 2. I'm guessing that you guys are okay. All right, so here, yeah. So let's continue, gentlemen. So this is the second part of the webinar. It's directed toward answering assignment number 2. Coming back again, before we start very quickly, I just want to go back to this slide. Yeah, this one. We said that assignment number 2 is due on 19th of April. I'm proposing that by 5th of April, you share your draft outline to my private email. I can review it. I can give you my comments. And from this date, on 5th of April, you can start, if there are some comments, you can start adjusting the assignment. I'm hoping that you guys all take an A grade. To do that, we need to work together. That's why I'm proposing this a checking of draft. You're all welcome to send me your drafts, but please try to send complete draft, because some people would do one slide and then send it to me. So please try to finish your slide by this date. Now you are all an MBA caliber, so by now you should be very good at time management. If 15th of March is your deadline, I'm proposing that by 1st of March, that's around 10 days from today, or a bit more, or maybe less, because it's 28. Yes, you're right. To start working on the slides. Now, because you came a bit late, I'm flexible. I'm happy to entertain your drafts after this date. That's okay. But I'm here hoping that you can excel. Before we continue, I want to show you something. In the folder which I've given you, it's called HRM Leadership. If you navigate to a folder called Sample Assignment, you'll find the following. As you can see, these are sample assignments, which means assignments which have been deemed very good. So they are all A-grade assignments. If you choose for assignment number 1, for example, transactional versus transformational, there are 9 different samples. If you choose cross-cultural management, there's 5 samples, etc., etc. Also for assignment number 2, there's 6 different samples. All these are coming from obviously from your previous colleagues who came before you. By the way, this assignment I brought it just I added this assignment just a week ago. This was coming from the very last batch in November. So I keep monitoring for the best assignment and adding them here. So coming back to what I'm saying here, so you guys have sample assignments which you could take from and get some ideas. Now, please don't copy words. Some people do that, So try not to copy words. These samples are meant to give you some inspiration and guidelines about where to start. But you're obviously supposed to write from scratch. But you can get some inspiration about those assignments. All right. So if there's no further question, we'll progress on assignment number 2. Yeah, that's it. Ready? Bismillah. So second assignment is a Word document. Okay. So let's start. I'm gonna stop only about the major words in the assignment, because there's a lot of boring words. So let's just jump to the major words. Imagine you are promoted to the head of HR. So you are the HR guy, and your company is operating in 3 different countries: China, India, and Germany. Now, before we continue, a small note here. You are more than welcome to select any 3 countries that you like. Obviously, they should be subsidiaries of the company that you're working for. Okay. So you could say, okay, I'm gonna go Pakistan, Mexico, and Qatar. I could go Italy, I don't know, Libya, and whatever. So any three countries will do. But remember that you should select at least 2 countries which have different cultural foundation. Why? We'll see why in a minute. But just for now, memorize this word. You have to have at least 2 countries with different cultural situation. Now, your company has asked you to develop a report to discuss employee engagement strategy. Let's stop here. Yeah. So Northampton is telling you that the main theme is employee engagement strategy. That's the main theme. الصبغة العامة. So the main theme of your assignment is employee engagement strategy. Or let's say strategy. Now the target analysis is developing a new strategy for your company, which is the new employee engagement strategy. So you're supposed to start from employee engagement in general towards building an employee engagement strategy. Now, to do that, there are different ways of doing it, but Northampton is forcing you to select 4 passes, 4 subtopics, 4 ideas. These are the following: teamwork, motivation, engagement, and work performance. So before we continue, let's repeat that. What's the main theme of the assignment? Employee engagement strategy. How to build that? Northampton is forcing you to select all 4 approach: teamwork, motivation, engagement, work performance. What does this mean? It means that every one of those concepts, you're supposed to take that concept and define it, implement it, and then come up with idea about how you think teamwork can help in implementing employee engagement strategy. Yeah. Then you do the same for motivation, then the same for engagement, and then work performance. All right. Let's continue the discussion, and then we'll come back with other issues. Now, during the implementation, you're supposed to discuss issues, problems, and challenges that you may face when you do the implementation. Okay. All right. So once again, gentlemen, if you have any question, please stop me. You're very quiet, by the way. I hope it's clear for all of you. So I hope actually, but typically it's an alarming signal if you're that quiet. I hope you're getting the contents. And again, feel free to raise your arm. I'm happy to repeat again. I'm more than happy actually. So coming back to the slide here, we spoke just now about that's the main theme, which is building employee engagement strategy. To do that, you're supposed to select 4 topics: teamwork, motivation, engagement, and work performance. When you do that, you also would want to discuss the issues, the problem, and challenges. And those questions are extra questions to support the issues, problem, and challenges. So are those associated with cultural patterns? Do those advance or hinder the development of good cooperation within these cultural teams? How do you envision communication taking place, and what issues might you associate with these communication processes? All these are complementary questions to add more angles or depths of analysis for the issues, problem, and challenges. Now, how do you address such an assignment? We go to the next slide number 123. Let me put it in big letters. Okay. So I'm proposing here the outline for the assignment. Yeah. Introduction 7%, same thing as we spoke earlier. Then we have Then we have literature review. Remember we said around 30%. Now, since the theme is employee engagement strategy, and since the university asks you for 4 topics, which are motivation, engagement, work performance, and teamwork. Now, to take a small pause here, you know very well that eventually, you're going to implement those concepts in a work environment. So because you're a very smart student, you think that, hey, since I'm defining the concepts, it's the best place to define the concepts and the tools in that section. Yeah. Having said that, in the literature review, you define motivation, and then you define two relevant tools. Then you define engagement and two tools, teamwork two tools, performance two tools. So now why we said two tools? Because as I mentioned earlier, it's always about quality of debate in order to show two different perspectives. So one tool, one department, tool two, second department. So you need to have at least two tools. So you have 4 topics and 2 tools each. Total is 8 topics. Or sorry, 2 times 4, that's 8 different discussions. Now those discussions are supposed to be in 3 countries. Yeah. So 8 times 3, that's 24. 24 is a lot, obviously, I know. That's too much. That's so what I'm proposing to you is the following. Let me bring Mr. Notepad one more time. It is somewhere here. So let's do like that. Now you have 3 countries, okay, 4 topics, 2 tools. So obviously 2 times 4 times 3, that's 24 different discussions. Now 24 is a lot, I understand. So what I'm proposing is the following. We reduce that to 2 countries, or let's say 2 main countries which are not identical, plus 1 which is identical. What does this mean? So in your assignment, you will write the following. The choice of countries, for example, the choice of countries are India, Pakistan, and Poland. Now, from that description, one can quickly realize that India and Pakistan, more or less, they share somehow the same culture, while Poland is different. Yeah? So from that perspective, it becomes 2 times 4 times 3. So that's 16 different presentations. What does this mean? It means the following. So you take, for example, in motivation, let's say for the sake of argument, you said I'm presenting Maslow plus hygiene factors. Those are 2 different motivation theories. And then you say I'm going to apply Maslow on India and Pakistan. Why? Because they both share the same cultural background. Okay. However, Poland belongs to a different cultural background, and as such, I'm going to select hygiene factors. Yeah. So now remember when I told you a few minutes ago, I told you select any 3 countries, but try to select at least 2 which have 2 different culture. Why? Because you need to show your strengths and skills in the ability of analysis. To do that, there has to be different cultural background for at least 2 countries, so that you can prove that you get good at balancing different thoughts. So is this clear so far, gentlemen? Any questions? Okay, so let's continue. I hope you're okay, guys. So coming back to this, this outline here, we spoke about the first. Let me bring back Mr. Notepad. This was the comment which we wrote about. Yeah, let me put it here. Yeah, I think it's going up here. Now, as you know, gentlemen, there are 2 ways, as you can think about the assignment here. There are probably 2 ways to answer the assignment. either by country or by topic. What does this mean? So either you select country A and then you put the 4 topics, or topic A and then you put the 3 countries. Both are fine. Both are good. But if you do it by topic, you get one advantage. Do you know what it is? So when you do it by topic, you have the chance to balance the different cultural ideas between countries. So if you do it by country, so it's the same country, the same culture, there's no way to cross-check ideas and balance it. It's just one tool and the same implementation. But when you do it by topic, so you put one motivation, said on that motivation, I'm going to try and implement it on country A, and that's our steps. However, the same cultural factors are not similar to Poland, which needs a different tool, and that will be the implementation. Is this clear? Yeah. So once again, you can do it by country, you can do it by topic. I'm proposing to give you an advantage. Do it by topic, just like the outline suggests here. Okay. Okay. So I've been asked by Stafford, because we have not received any questions so far. I need to see some reactions. Okay. So Muhammad is saying it's okay. Okay, right? Oh, sorry, here. How many words we should write for assignment 1 and how many for number 2? Okay, very good. Thank you very much. So for assignment 1, you have 20 slides. Every slide should have 50 to 70 words. Okay. Okay. Now for assignment 2, it is 3,000 words. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. So let me ask the following. Now, since we said we have 3,000 words for assignment 1, sorry, 3,000 words for assignment 2. Now, I remember that we said this slide about the blocks of the assignment. So then we have 3 different blocks. Every block has somehow equal weight. If you divide, let me bring a notepad here. Let me bring a notepad. Okay. So 3,000 words divided by 3 blocks. How much? I know it's 1,000, it's obvious. So I'm going to say it is, let's say 800 words per block, because we need to keep room for introduction and conclusion per block. So let's review 800 words. Yeah. Applying knowledge 800. Answering question 800. All right. Now on this assignment, as you may have noticed, we've merged both the implementation and the answering the question into one section. So block number 2 here, or if you call it implementation, it has actually both topics or both blocks, 1,600 words. Okay. Now let's continue on the number words, the numbering here. Since this has 800 words, what does this mean? Now divide by 4 topics. Okay, which means 200 words per topic. Yeah, per topic. Then divide by 2 tools, meaning 100 words per tool. Okay, so why am I doing all this? Just to give you a feeling about your word split. So every tool that you present for the 4 topics, there's like 100 words per tool. Okay, so then you have totally 8 tools, so that's 800 words, and you just finish your literature review. Any questions so far? Anyone? Are we clear? All right, let's hope things are good so far. Coming back to this slide, which is the thank you, Jasim. Coming back to this slide. So then we said here, let's take it more details. We just finished the first slide, which is the 4 tools for every, sorry, 4 topics and 2 tools for every topic. So that's totally 8 tools. Now here, within the same 30%, you add the company overview and speak briefly about the 3 locations. Why? Because you're supposed to present topics, you present ideas coming from a reference. Since you're defining all the concepts or all the ideas in the literature review, it only makes sense that you present the 3 locations in that area. And one thing to make you a bit more smart is if you basically present quickly the cultural definitions about all those 3 countries. So in that section, in the company overview, you go ahead and present the description of the culture in all those 3 countries. For example, you selected China, India, and Poland. So how does it look like in China, India, and in Poland? Okay. So this is where you put it. You insert this one in the company overview. We just finished the literature review part. Watch the first section, as you can see here. Now we move on to the implementation. Okay. Type. Since we have 4 topics, and since we have 2 tools, every tool is to be implemented on a department. Makes sense? This means what? This means that we do detailed implementation of motivation on target departments. Why do you think I said S departments? Because we said we have 2 tools per topic. So since we have 2 tools, then we select as department 1, department 2, and they will be receive tool 1, tool 2. This concludes the motivation implementation. So coming back here, detailed implementation about motivation, which means the 2 tools, and discuss challenges and issues and problems and communication issues. Okay. You then repeat the same thing for teamwork, then involvement, then work performance. That's it basically. Okay. Now, do you remember what was the main theme of the assignment? Can anyone tell me the main theme? Anyone? Come on, guys. نايمين يا شباب? Can you remember, gentlemen, what's the main theme of the assignment? No one? All right. So the main theme, if you remember, it was the employee engagement strategy. Yeah? Is this correct? Remember, we saw it here. So coming back to this slide, it was written here to discuss an employee engagement strategy. That was the main theme. Okay. Now, because you're smart students, what you're supposed to do is that you need to think about this line here the implementing motivation on target departments. At the end of this line, were you able to come one step closer to the employee engagement strategy? So if yes, then you link the findings of this first line to employee engagement strategy. That way, you conclude the motivation implementation by what do you know extra that can make you understand now better the employee engagement strategy. Then you repeat the same thing for teamwork, for involvement, for work performance. So again, looking at all these 4 topics, okay, all these 4 topics, the conclusions here should always be about employee engagement strategy. Does this make sense? Because remember, the assignment is not about motivation or teamwork or whatever. The assignment is to build an employee engagement strategy. So it only makes sense that that the conclusion of every section points back to the main theme, which is employee engagement strategy. Does this make sense to you? I'm hoping it is actually. Now, once you do a proper implementation here and in all this, and once you conclude correctly about employee engagement strategy, then come this section, which is quite easy then in that case, because you summarize all the findings of all the different components and you present them as one new employee engagement strategy at the end of your assignment. So then the conclusion of this implementation becomes the new employee engagement strategy for your company. And then you put your conclusion, and that's it. We just finished assignment number 2. Any questions? Anyone? Is it clear? Hello? Anyone? So basically, okay. Thank you, Wasim, for responding. Any other questions? So Wasim has responded. I still need to hear from Jasim, from who else? So Jasim, Muhammad, Ali Kuwairi, Ahmed Yaishi. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Jasim. But yeah, I can see that. So Jasim, let me ask you a question. Do you have, because you know we finished both assignments and we have plenty of time to spare. Do you have any questions around the assignment 1 or 2? Would you like to ask any question on those assignments, please? So Wasim and Muhammad, I have their answer. Okay. So Jasim is saying that there's no, it's not possible to. Let's test it. Okay. Let's do that here. I think we put here. That's enter. I hope you can see it's still seeing my screen. Okay. So that's what happened when you look at the link I gave you here. Okay. All right. So once you click on that link, come to this page. On the left side, you'll find HRMM 058 leadership. And as you can see here, yes, it is 1 GB. So you click on download. Let's try it. Your download has started. And as you can see here, 1.1 gigabyte. Okay. So I guess that's how you should do it. I'm going to cancel it because I have it already. Okay. Is this clear, Jasim? So follow that link. Okay. Okay, good. So coming back here. So Abdullah Tamimi, any questions? Ali Al-Kuwari, any questions? Anyone? Who else? All right, so I'm not hearing from the rest of you folks. I can see Jassim, Muhammad. Okay, Ali, thanks for responding, Ali. How about Abdullah Tamimi? Any questions, anything? But coming back to Ali, you said it's okay, but coming back to this slide, because this was obviously the most important slide in this journey today. What is it? Let's go back to here. Do you have guys any question on the slide? Is it clear? I mean, what I'm very happy to inform you is that look at this slide. Now you can develop any assignment. Thank you, Jassim. Any assignment for any topic. Think about it. Now let's go back. Let's imagine you're working on your dissertation, okay? And in your dissertation, basically you need to develop an outline how to solve a problem. And that problem, for example, it has to do with the operations, has to do with the performance, whatever it is. So to do that very simply, you take the defining of the theories, that's block 1, and then whatever the series is saying, you implement it, that's block 2, and then you do some critical analysis, some answering, some addressing different angles. All this happen in block 3. So yes, thank you, Ali. So yes, coming back to this slide, Ali, let me have a view. So I hope you can see my screen, Ali. Your draft is sorry, you submit your assignment is due at as follows. So for assignment number 1, you're supposed to submit on 15th of March, and assignment number 2 on 19th of April. What I'm proposing is that on 1st of March, you present to me your draft to my private email address. Okay. And then based on my feedback, you can go ahead and update your assignment, adjust it, fix it, whatever. And so please send it to here, this email. Don't send me to Northampton. I don't know how to access that email. So send me a draft to this email, and then I respond to you back with my comments, and I can adjust the assignment accordingly. And same thing for assignment number 2. Okay, very good. Thank you for the question. So just to continue the assignment for Ali. So for assignment number 2, again, as you can see from the slide here, the idea is that you will hope to achieve your first draft or assignment number 2 by 5th of April. You give me the assignment, and then I will correct it and give it back to you. Okay. Now your colleague Wasim is asking question: what are the tools that can be used for the other topics like teamwork, like motivation? So what I'm proposing is the following. If you come here, assignment 2, and for example, open this one, let's open anyone, and then I'll try to scroll down. Okay. So you have a sample here, and keep scrolling down. You'll find those guys have developed, okay, tools. So if you read those tools, the role of team communication tools, you'll find plenty of ideas about the various tools that you'd use for all the other basically the topics. Okay, so we just picked one sample, by the way. Now you have 1 to 6. Yeah, so if you go to second sample, for example, there's no here introduction. Yeah, so teamwork improvements through for page 1. I think this answers your question, Ali Al-Kuwari. This, for example, this sample assignment 2 for teamwork, he suggested 2 tools. Okay, 4-phased framework and proper role assignments and process and rewards. For example, this one is for performance, and then he used KPI for performance. So as you can see, all these are examples for tools that you could use for your assignment. So back to your question, Ali. Okay, go ahead and check those assignments. You've got 6 assignments. I'm sure you'll find plenty of tools that you can inspire off for the implementation. And guess what? All these tools are referenced. So whenever you like one tool, there's always a reference to it. You can take that reference, read it, and implement it. Is this okay, Ali? Are you okay now? Sorry, I'm sorry. That question coming from Wasim Ibrik. I'm sorry. So coming back to Wasim, that was actually for all of you, but coming back to Wasim, is this now clear, Wasim? So all you have to do is check all those samples. There's plenty of tools that you can inspire. Is this okay, Wasim? Are you now comfortable? Yeah. In the meantime, I will switch to Muhammad Al Yafi. Yes, that's correct, Wasim. Thank you very much. So I will come to Jasim question in a minute, but coming back to Muhammad Al Yafi, for the references, if you go to this assignment, just for the sake of argument, for example, this is one of the best assignments I've seen. You'll find that those guys have referenced everywhere. Let me show you here. Okay. Yeah. So here's the reference. Here's the reference. Here's the reference. These guys are very nice. They reference everywhere. Okay. We go to the next assignment. You'll find plenty of references, as you can see here. And the next page, that's reference. So coming back to Muhammad Yafi question, should I reference? Yes. In fact, you are encouraged to reference in the assignment 1 and 2. Okay. So as you can see here, Bassem B. Okay, and so I hope this answers your question, Muhammad Yafi. So yes, that ends the assignment number 1. If now we go to assignment number 2, let's pick another example now. Okay, so as you can see here, all right. No, Jasim is asking, should I reference at the end? No, treat this as a normal MBA assignment. So both assignment 1 and 2, try to think that this is just a normal assignment. So you must reference everywhere. In fact, as you may know, Jasim and Muhammad, as you may know, in MBA Word, you're not allowed to give any information without a reference. Any information, even if it's quite known. For example, let's imagine you want to say, Jasim, that Qatar is awarded the World Cup in 2022. Based on what? What's the reference for that? Who told you that? You can never give a general document. So coming back to the question, yes, everything that you say, you must always add a reference. You can never say anything without a reference. When you say, for example, Maslow hierarchy of needs, Maslow is not your property, somebody else's property, which means you have to bring a reference that described Maslow. Is this clear, Jasim and Muhammad? So reference everywhere. Whenever you want to present a tool, an idea, a topic, everywhere you must add a reference. Okay. So I think I've answered all the questions. Again, we still have a lot of time to spare. Now I can go over some other topics if you want, but interesting topic. But first, I want to make sure that you're satisfied about the assignment. So are you guys okay on the assignment? Do you have any other questions? Right. Now that your guys are okay, so I would like to some time. Yes, good question. Thank you, Ahmed, for the question. In assignment 1, should you use the notes section or not? I strongly hope you do not use the note section. Don't use note section. Why? Because all students, let me write that. Please don't use note section for assignments. Yeah. Why? The problem is that at time of uploading, yeah, some of you may experience a problem of not knowing how to upload correctly. So then the notes section will basically disappear, and then you come back complaining that you've written a lot of ideas in the notes section and it's gone. And I'm sorry, I can only correct items which have been uploaded on Nile or turn it in. And if the notes section is gone, I cannot correct it from an email, so you can never send it to me by email. So to avoid any problem, please dump everything in your assignment slide. So for example, if you look at those assignments and try to sorry, not this one, let me go to assignment 1, for example. So if you look at those assignments, you'll find that some guys have done some heavy text, very a lot of words actually in every slide. I'm okay with it, I like it actually. Look at this slide, for example. If you count the number of words here, you end up with maybe 100 words. Okay, this is fantastic to me. I like it because that way you're not losing any words from the notes section, and then I can go to the university and tell them, hey, this student deserves an A grade because look at the depth of analysis, look at the referencing, look at everything. Does this answer your question, Ahmed Liaishi? Ahmed Liaishi, yes. Are you okay with now this question? Yeah, hello, Ahmed. So I want to take you to a topic which is very interesting. Now that we have some time to spare, it's not quite related to leadership, but you should not lose the benefit of the benefits that I extended to your colleagues in Dubai. So I'm very happy and keen to give you this benefit. Again, this slide has nothing to do with your leadership course. This is just some bonus extra slides for you to understand more things. Now, in the dissertation topic, some of you may have started already selecting the topic. Some of you may have started even writing the proposal or maybe dissertation. So I, along with a lot of students, maybe you are too, I have done a tremendous mistake when I selected my topic. Why? Because when I was an MBA student, I have fallen in the same trap of starting the wrong way for dissertation. So the way to start in the wrong way is starting from a business problem and then claiming you want to fix the problem, and then the university tries to discuss with you what kind of problem you're trying to solve. Then you end up having a huge amount of problems. So then the dissertation will take ages to continue. It takes a lot of time. So the visionary long hard way, as you can see from the slide here, is that the wrong way, actually, the wrong hard way, is that you start from a business problem and try to fix it. This is wrong. Okay. Now, there's only one way to do dissertation. One way. There are no two ways. There are no 5 ways or 1.5. It's only one way to select the dissertation topic. There's no other way, just this way. What you do is that the only acceptable way is that you select an academic theory or concept or a tool that you have understood in or went throughout the entire journey of MBA. So go back to the first course till today. You've taken a lot of ideas from strategy, management, marketing, you name it. And then you liked one topic, for example, Porter 5 Forces in strategy, 4P in marketing, charismatic leadership in leadership. So all these are concept tools. So you take that theory and then apply it on a company or challenge it, see if it still works, and then discuss the result, and that's it. This is the only way to do dissertation. Why do I say the only way? Because when you go to a tutor on the board and ask him to comment on your dissertation, the problem is that they try to look for the academic theory that you want to focus on. The problem is that you don't know at this stage that you may have selected a long list of topics, a long list of academic thoughts, which is a terrible mistake. The more tools you take, the more efforts you need to finish the dissertation, and that's a major mistake. So I repeat, there's only one way to do the dissertation. You think about a tool, a concept, a theory in any discipline, any course that you have taken over the past 1 year. تاخدوها كنوات, you take it as a core, and then your argument would be, I'd like to apply it on company X and see if it's useful or applicable, or not, see if it's not applicable and why. Okay, that's it. That slide is over. No more thing to say. But we've discovered a small trick which would make you even smarter, okay, and will help you to finish the dissertation in no time. In fact, before I show you this method, I'd like to give you a small shock or surprise. When I was doing my dissertation, it took me exactly 6 weeks to finish my dissertation because of this trick. We'll see it now. 6 weeks to finish entire dissertation. It was 20,000 words. I've got A+ on dissertation and a letter thanking me for the quality of my research and debate. Even though my topic was stupid, my topic was too stupid, my topic was unuseful, my topic was useless, and even my conclusion was, I don't know. I don't really know if I can conclude if that's successful or not. Okay, so what is that trick? Let's see it here. You select an assignment that you have done over the past 1 year from any topic, any topic. Take this assignment and present it to university as your research topic. What happened if you do so? You benefit from 4 components. Number 1, you have a ready-made 3,000 words assignment, which you have done in the past. Now, I know you cannot take the same words, but at least you have some structure, some logic, some journey, some approach you have done in the past. Number 2, you have downloaded a lot of articles around this topic. You're not starting from scratch. When you ask people around, hey, what do you want to study? I want to study about X topic. Do you have articles? No. Okay, you don't have articles. So are you going to research for articles? Yeah, I need to search for articles. Why do we need to? You don't want to do that. If you take this assignment, which I've done, you've already downloaded enough articles. Number 3, you understand that topic. You've spent time, some weeks, designing this assignment, obviously answering, putting the outline, putting this assignment, and then you understand this topic and how to develop this logic. Fourth, and the most important point, is that this academic or this topic is academically acceptable. Why? Who gave you this assignment? It's the university, right? Okay. When a university gives you an assignment, it means what? It means they are telling you this is an academically accepted topic because they're the one who gave it to you. So if you think about these 4 steps, you're benefiting from a wealth of effort, from a wealth of articles, from word counts, from knowledge of a topic, and most of it from academic accepted topic. And then you develop your dissertation, and it takes no time. In fact, this is what I've done. I've picked up an assignment which I was doing in my MBA, a assignment which I was doing 2 months earlier when I was studying my dissertation. I picked up that assignment. I took the question from university. I took the same question and went to the dissertation board and gave it to my tutor. And I told them I'd like to do my research in that topic. So then the board told me, good topic, bravo. How did you come up with it? Yeah, I'm smart. So the same topic, I put it on the dissertation board, said, yeah, very good topic. And then I start developing the assignment which I've submitted for that dissertation, start expanding it, because I know what I'm going to write. I know what the logic is. I know everything about the assignment. All I have to do is just find time to expand the assignment into 15,000 words. So basically, that's it. What do you think about this trick? Does this make sense to you? Do you like this approach? Do you think this is useful? No? Not useful? Not good? Anyone? So Jasim seems to accept the idea. Anyone else? Okay, Ali, thank you for responding. All right, who else? So let me ask Jasim and Ali. Um, Jasim and Ali. So can you think about an assignment which you have done over the past 1 year and take it as an assignment topic? Yes, thank you, Wasim. I understand that, Wasim, that it's useful. I know. Wasim, I'll come back to you. So, Jasim and Ali, I'd like you to write to me on the chat board the choice of assignment which you are interested to pursue as a dissertation topic because you feel you're comfortable. Can you do that, please? Just the dissertation title based on assignment which you feel you're comfortable. Coming back to Wasim. Wasim, let me ask you, in the current dissertation that you have in mind, do you think you have done a similar work in one of your previous assignments? And if yes, would you be able to reorient this dissertation to match the assignment that you have done in the past? Have you done anything similar in the past? So think about it, Ali. Back to you, Ali, the question which I was raising. I understand that you're watching from mobile. Thank you for taking the time to watch the event. But let me ask you, Ali, can you think about an assignment which you have done in your MBA journey, any assignment, and you would like to take it as an assignment, as a topic for dissertation and progress with it? Can you think about topic? I mean, in other words, would you be interested to adopt this approach and move forward? How about you, Jassim? Would you be interested to do this approach? I understand that you like the idea. Anyway, so okay, thank you. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this discussion. Coming back to this slide, so basically, these were the most important slides which I've given to your colleagues. The rest are fine. Let me see if I skip anything urgent. We've gone through that. Since we have a bit more time to talk, coming back to this point, remember when we spoke about file type PDF? So imagine you have attended a session. Okay, good point, Ali. He said he wants to check marks. Okay, I respect that. It's a good point that to make sure that you have you want to go be on safe side. That's fine. That's fine for now. But just imagine that if you decide to do that, you're really helping yourself a lot. In fact, you should have your self committed that you need to finish as soon as possible, and find the shortest path to finish your dissertation. If that path is by taking another assignment, so be it. So what? Okay. So think about it, Ali, and look for the assignment which you are mostly comfortable with, or you have done you have spent a lot of time understanding the concepts, or you really know how to develop it. Take it as a foundation for your dissertation and then move on. Wasim was asking a question. Okay, so I understand similar, but Wasim, let me ask you a question, and take some time if you want to respond to me. Let me ask you a question. Are you inclined to continue doing the same dissertation that you have in mind, which you have selected, Or do you think you would be interested to shorten that by finding an assignment which you have done? And if so, if you like to take an assignment from the past, are you interested to take it back to university and challenge them that, guys, sorry, I made the wrong choice. I'd like to change my topic. Are you interested to take this journey again and find a different topic? See, the purpose of my question was to you and Ali and everybody else. The purpose is very simple. I'm very sad to say this message. Hope you don't hate me, but you are the only person. You are the only person who is going to walk this path. Nobody else will do it. You're the only person who's gonna take this path. You're the only person who's gonna download the articles, search for articles, understand and write it. That's number one. What's worse, and I'm again sorry to be the one breaking this news for you. What's worse is that imagine you select whatever topic you have in mind, and you finish the dissertation. This document, the dissertation, it will go and sit on a shelf in your house where it starts collecting dust. Nobody will ever read this assignment. Once you finish the dissertation, nobody will read it. So why would you want to spend a lot of time on a topic which you alone is interested in and you are interested in, and nobody will ever read it? Why would you want a dissertation topic which will take you 2 months or 3 months or 6 months? Why not 1 month? So can I do it in 1 month? Yes. I mean, looking at the list of students here, coming back here, we have here on the bench, we have 6 people. Let me ask you, 6 of you, would you be interested in having a topic that you finish in 1 month, 1 month and a half, 2 months, or 6 months? Because remember, whatever you choose, you're going to eventually spend time on the literature review, implementation, finding the articles, doing research, doing questionnaire. So the faster you can do this research, the more compressed you can make this work, the better. And maybe one of the best ways to compress this cycle is by going after something that you know, you've done, you've experienced, and what could be your own assignment. So Ali and Wasim and everyone, thank you for your responses. Think about it. I don't want you to answer now, obviously. You can take time to understand it and think about it. But for now, just try to think about it. Can you make your journey shorter? Can you find a way to finish your dissertation at fast as possible and then graduate, and that's it? Now, before we move on, just let me share with you my own reading of the situation. When I was doing my MBA, I had one objective in mind, one objective only, is to, sorry, I spilled some water. Hang on. No worry, no cat, just water. Okay, so when I was studying my MBA, I had one objective in my mind, only one objective, which is what? Which is basically to finish my MBA, get my degree, put it on the wall, and then take a selfie. That was my objective. Why would I care about solving problems, solving planet Earth, solving all that? Why should I do all this? Okay, think about it. Imagine you finish your dissertation, okay? You finish your work, and then you take a selfie, and you put it on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever you want. And then if you like to start researching any topic you have in mind, fine. Go ahead and do it, but do it after the MBA, not before. Think about that statement. Do your nice dreams, whatever you want to call it, do it after the MBA, not before it. So my advice to you is the following. Find the shortest possible topic, finish the dissertation, take a selfie with your degree, take a selfie, post it on your social media, and then do whatever research you have in mind, whatever improvements for the company, for the country, for planet Earth, for planet Jupiter, for planet Mars, whatever you have in mind, do what you please, but after the MBA. Don't do it within the MBA. Is this clear? Okay. Thanks. So coming back, we still have some more time to kill. Let's imagine you are researching a topic. For example, you've attended. Thanks, Jasim. You've attended a workshop by a tutor, and that workshop, the tutor explained a topic which you're not familiar with. For example, let's say ABC costing, okay, activity-based costing, or let's say he spoke about NPV, okay, and for some reason you could not understand that topic from the tutor, and you want quick guidance. What do? Is the following. So you write that word NPV, and then you write file type PPT, PowerPoint. Who writes PowerPoints and leave them on the internet? Can you think about it? Anyone? Any comment? So who writes PowerPoint files and leave them on the internet? Okay, so maybe no answer. So, well, basically, universities typically write PowerPoints, leave them on the internet for the students, right? So I'm gonna press enter. Look what happened here. .edu. What else? .edu. Yeah. AC UK. That's university. .edu. See? So just imagine any topic you have in mind, anything from the MBA, and you could not understand it from your tutor. For example, we spoke about emotional leadership. Let's remove this one. Emotional leadership, for example. What happened? Let's read. EDU, university, EDU. That's a global organization, fine. Another global organization.org. MIS, no, MI, sorry, MI. Okay, whatever. EDU, see, that's one here. Is this clear, gentlemen? Does this make sense to you? So we've learned file type PDF and file type PowerPoint. Those two are called Google filters. Basically, it forces Google to look for some special documents. Now, you could be a bit. Yes, thank you, Jasim. Any topic you have in mind, anything that you have studied, go ahead and try it yourself, Jasim, on Google. Whatever you have in mind, just add file type PowerPoint, and you always find universities. Now, imagine you have a presentation. Let me make it more simple. Project management. Yeah. I'm gonna press enter. All right. So you see here, that's university. Whatever this one. All right. What else? What else? Willy. That's a book, by the way. Willy is a publishing company. PSU. I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. I mean, it's universities. Okay. I think that's another university, etc. So look what happened. We've just found plenty of references from universities around a topic that you have in mind. So Jassim, let me show you something which hopefully you will like. Imagine you want to read more about project management, but you're a bit greedy. So you type the following: site harvard.edu. What does this mean? It means you're looking for all the PowerPoints that speaks about project management and coming from Harvard University. So let's press enter. So you get plenty of matches. You've got how many? 43 results for project management, which are PowerPoint, which means presentations, only from Harvard University. Okay, speak about that topic. That's it. Okay, is this clear? Is this useful? Are you enjoying this? Go ahead and select whatever you need. So I'll remove this one. For example, cross I think somebody asked me earlier 43 result. Yeah, 43 result. Yes. Somebody asked me earlier. Let me go back to the history. Somebody asked me this question. Yeah. So Wasim asked me questions earlier. Can I mention the tools for motivation and teamwork? Let's find out. Motivation tool. Let's remove this one. Yeah. Does this answer your question, Wasim? There you go. You just have found yourself some tools. If you want to know more about it, faculty motivation, safety leadership, etc. Expectancy. By the way, I like this theory a lot. That's one of the best theories for motivation. It's called expectancy theory. Okay. Okay. So and then maybe coming back to Wasim, maybe after you start learning more about this tool, now you need a reference. You need to reference this tool. So then you remove this one, you write PDF. Okay. So all these are agencies, international bodies who spoke about those tools, and they're offering you what? A reference. Look at this reference, for example, here. You see this one here? That's education. I'm gonna open that for you, Wasim. Just look at it here. Let's open it. So Wasim, if and everybody actually, if you think about it, حدا عم بيعطيك على طبق من ذهب، على طبق من ذهب، حدا عم يقدم لك a tool and a reference and publication. So you've got University of Florida, who just published an article on understanding motivation, effective tool for managers, and that's a peer-reviewed article from a university. So with some references and some analysis and factors, that's it. What more you need? That's very easy. So just imagine those filters which we spoke about, and trust me, you're very good to go. So we still have 10 more minutes for this call. I'd like to stop talking now. I would like to stop talking from my side, and I'd like to ask you, do you guys have any questions about everything, about assignment 1, 2, dissertation, anything? I'm open to question right now. Anyone, guys? No questions? Is everything okay? I spilled a lot of water actually. Anyone? Are you all okay? Abdullah Tamimi, we've never heard your voice in this session. And there's, can you back for the note? What do you mean? If you're trying to ask a question about the note section of the slides, is it the note section of the slides? If yes, that's for assignment 1. My answer was no. Don't use any note section in slide, because again, if you don't manage to upload it correctly and the turn it in, then unfortunately I cannot correct anywhere else. It has to be on Turnitin. So once again, please don't use note section. No, okay, sorry. Which one? There's plenty of notes. Yeah, maybe this one, you mean? This one? I'm not sure. I forgot which note. Yeah, okay. So we spoke about this one. I'm not sure which one you're. Yeah, I think that's the one we spoke about. No, not this one actually. Is it? So anyway, let's go back to the slides. These were the assignment number 1. Oh, assignment number 2. Okay, fine. So this was my logic, which I put here, but the outline was there. Yeah, that was the outline. Is this fine, Jasim? You have any question precisely on this one? So that's as far as I've written for assignment number 2. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything. So those are everything which I've written. Am I missing something more precisely, Jasim, for assignment number 2? So, gentlemen, any other questions? Are you all okay? Okay, no problem. Go ahead, please. It was welcome. Okay, very good. Well, basically, I mean that's it. Coming back to the to what this one here. So you have my number. That's my mobile number. It has WhatsApp. So feel free to talk to me on WhatsApp anytime. That's my email. Okay, those are the main 2 means of communications. For the interest of here, I'm gonna send to you once again here. So feel free to contact me, and I enjoyed knowing you all. I assume there's no more question. So pleasure is mine knowing you, and it was my deepest dissatisfaction that I could not see you in Dubai. I really would have wanted to meet you all, and I wish you all the best. And um, uh, hopefully, if you need support on assignment 1 and 2, as I mentioned, feel free to send me your draft. And please do consult the assignment samples. It will give you some inspiration about how to develop some arguments. And well, that's it from our side. And thank you all. Thank you all for attending. Thank you all for the nice participation. I hope you enjoyed the session, and wishing you the best of luck in the remainder of your MBA. Okay. Thank you.